So how have you been, brother? I haven't talked to you in a minute, or we haven't done one of these since your first fight after you won. How have you been since then, and how's training been going?
Been going good. When I lost the second fight, it learned a lot of lessons, but also losing that second fight. Uh, if I didn't lose the second fight, I probably wouldn't have evolved with my training because I would have been complacent and be like, okay, good enough as I am. But having that, after losing that second one, I developed a whole game plan with developing my southpaw. So this new fight is going to be like flowing back and forth between southpaw and orthodox.
Cool. You're gonna swap stances and stuff.
Yeah, I'm mostly bringing southpaw to the game, and then but I think at certain points, I'm gonna do switch to orthodox, or while I'm in southpaw, do some angle changes into orthodox, and then throw some attacks from there.
I gotcha.
So it'll be very fluid and faster.
Cool. I love that. And speaking of that, you were talking about your last kickboxing fight. It didn't necessarily go your way, but what steps have you taken to make sure what happened that night doesn't happen this Friday?
Everything that had happened that night was mostly just doing all the wrong things, like trying to bend over backwards for just to be able to compete.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest things I did wrong with was I guess not being realistic for one. And so when he said that everybody they're switching to day before weigh-ins instead of day of weigh-ins, I should have probably just pulled out because my work schedule is only going to allow me to do day of. And now everyone that's going to be, including my opponents, going to be weighing the day before. They're going to have an advantage.
Right.
So it's one is not doing day of weigh-ins, and but the number one issue is not weighing in 2 fights before I'm supposed to go on and fight.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know.
Do that time crunch.
I don't know if I've ever heard of somebody doing that before besides you. I've never heard of that. When it comes to combat sports, when it comes to, I shouldn't say combat sports because wrestling's a little different. Wrestling is like that, like what you did, and jiu-jitsu. Some tournaments are like that. But when it comes to, the combat sports where striking involved, I've never seen somebody do what you did, which is, weigh in 2 fights before and then go out there and still do what you did. I mean, it's just, I've never heard of that happening before, and I wouldn't put that, and I think you would say the same, I wouldn't put that on anybody to do that again. You know what I mean? I think you've learned from that experience, and you've probably been able to teach others in our space that that's not the way to go. Like a day of weigh-in and you're about to go get punched and exert a whole energy inside a cage where there's a crowd, everybody's watching you, you're going to gas quickly. I mean, it's the weight cut, any type of weight cut. It doesn't even have to be anything over 5 pounds. You cut 2 pounds, you cut 3 pounds. You're still malnourishing your body before a competition, regardless. And I think I agree with you. I don't think we'll do that again. I think we'll always do day before weigh-in. So how excited are you to weigh in tomorrow?
I'm looking forward to it. Not really. The only thing I get nervous about is more about performance. I just want to go out and look good and do a good job.
Right.
More than anything.
And that's a healthy feeling. Being nervous is good. A lot of people, you'll hear some fighters say, "Oh, I'm not nervous," or "I don't get nervous," and it's just either they're lying or they're just stupid. They just don't get it, or they don't care. They just don't really care what's going on. When you get nervous, it can be one of two things. It can either be a lack of preparation, and you're worried about what's going on with that. You're worried that you're going to be underprepared to perform how you want, or it means you care so much that you want to win so fucking bad and that you put all this work into yourself and you don't want all the work to be for nothing. And that's a healthy nervousness. I would
Yeah.
I would rather a person be nervous in that scenario than go in there and thinking that they're like this shit, like they're the best in the world. Nervous
Yeah, exactly.
nerves can be good.
That was I guess another thing too is the second big mistake was like just being so committed to just being able to just be there that it was like a bit of a delusion. Like it was like I over like just completely not even thinking about all the negatives, weighing the day before, not even having time to warm up, just barely have enough time to wrap the hands. Trying to think what else.
I mean, you had to
Yeah,
drive.
just
Where were you that morning of the fight, and then you had to go?
yeah, driving from Mississippi, almost close to the coast of
Right.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
and then driving all day to get back to south to Nashville. Then finally, when I get released from my job, driving all the way like an hour, like 2.5 hours to drive to get there, just barely making it. All this when I knew better, because initially I said no because I was like, dude, I don't know how my schedule's gonna go that day. I'm like, sometimes we've gone out early that those days, but like, usually I just never know how it's gonna go. So initially I said no, but then I was like, after they offered me somebody, I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And so just being delusional and just being so focused on just being able to have the opportunity to go, because I didn't know when I'd have another opportunity to compete. So I was like, let's just do it. I'm going to win anyways.
Yeah.
Just kind of being very, very delusional, not just doing all the wrong things, pretty much. Everything you could possibly do wrong, I did, pretty much. And I wasn't even training in gym. I was just shadowboxing and working out.
Right.
While I was away for work.
Yeah, and I don't think we're saying all this to try and make like an excuse for why you lost, but it's like these are just valuable reasons of like things that happened beforehand and that uh, could cause like a dent in your performance for sure. And I think going into this next one and not having all the BS happening, like you get to more just focus on the fight. I mean, obviously you're probably still working through training camp like all of us amateur fighters are, but you definitely get I would think you're way more prepared for this one than the last one.
Yeah, this time I've been able to training way in advance, leading up to it. Being able to constantly spar, remember good habits. Like I didn't even keep my hands up. Just completely bad defense the second time. So it's that whole loss was like a great catalyst for getting back to evolving, pretty much.
Right.
And so now I got a more complete, with developing that southpaw. And I've got different weapons to bring in and working on cutting angles and defense, and then some good combinations to throw.
So what's up?
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
So you're fighting Dustin Whitmore or Whitemore. How do you pronounce it? Do you know?
I don't know, man.
Call it
Whitmore, probably.
Yeah, let's say Whitmore. What have you heard about him or seen about him? And just I guess go off of that. What have you seen or heard about him?
I haven't seen really much. Just or heard anything. I think Corey sent me a video of one of his fights on YouTube.
So he's kickboxing 4. What's his record?
I think he's 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. I think he throws. He's used to MMA, so I think he kind of throws like it's MMA, and he definitely throws some kicks in there. Very composed when he fights. He's an older guy, so he's mature and composed.
Right. What's your prediction for how Friday goes down?
I don't know, man. Either I'll catch him, I think, because I've developed some combinations with it in mind of, when I throw a combination and then just like the last part of that combination is just intended to catch him when he thinks he's defending something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hoping to catch his hands down, not being where I'm intending that my actual power to be, where I'm gonna throw it.
Right.
So I think either that might catch him. I'm thinking, and then maybe I don't know how durable he is too. So either catching him, I don't know, man, or just going all 3 rounds, and because I think I want to go in there very composed and just get more points, get a decision.
Heck yeah.
So I'm not going for a knockout or nothing. I'm just going in there to try to catch him and throw and be where he's like not expecting. So.
Right. Heck yeah. And not trying to look too far past this fight because we still got a job to do Friday. But what are your goals for the rest of this year after this Friday?
With the local scene, I feel like there's maybe one more show that people try to put on before winter.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's one more, or there's no fights.
No fights. So you either want to do one or none.
Yeah. Well, I think there's only one show left.
Right.
So, maybe one more kickboxing fight, or I'm just gonna do a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments. So I can really get my jiu-jitsu really focus on that weak area.
Heck yeah. That sounds awesome. I'm excited, man.
Prepare for next year.
Right. I'm excited, man. You want to do MMA next year? Try to?
Yeah, at some point, man. That's the future.
Right.
I was telling somebody the other day. I was like, 2 big names. You know who's in famous people's grandsons? Muhammad Ali's grandson. Where's he at?
He's boxing. Or now he's in the PFL. Yeah, he's in the PFL now.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe he was a boxer, but yeah, he's in MMA right now.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's grandson he was undefeated fighter, and then he got knocked out. So he made the news for getting his
first loss
after being undefeated. It was a knocked-out faceplant. But the thing I was looking at that, I'm like, Muhammad Ali and Hulk Hogan's grandson are in MMA. Andrew Tate, where does he say his sons are going to be in the UFC when they're older?
That'd be something.
So it's like yeah, man. So like all these, it's like every sport big name. Everybody's trying to get into MMA. So I figure like instead of like, I think that's the money is going to be, at least if you're going to train to go pro, is like go one championship or the UFC.
Heck yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm here for the journey. I've been here since the beginning of it, so I'm here to the end. Thank you for coming on, man. And like I said, I can't wait for Friday. What spot of the card are you in? Do you know?
No idea. I think I got the details. Weigh-ins are like at 5 p.m. I think tomorrow, and then the fight started around 5 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Or no, the first one's like 5 or 6.
And tell people where it's gonna be at.
The Rivergate Mall. I think it's not Rivergate Mall. It's a Patrona Event Center in Rivergate.
This Friday. Yep.
Yeah.
What time's the card start?
It starts at 5. The doors open at 5.
Fight starts at 6.
First fight will start at 6. It's pretty crazy, man. It's like all the cage. They sell out VIP tables, cage side.
Well, a guy that I fought is the main event.
Really?
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie's the main event. So he brings a fucking crowd. He brings a crowd. He brings a really big crowd, and he usually sells like $4,000 worth of tickets every fight. So
wow,
he'll have a lot of fans there for him. I'm just letting you know. But I'm sure he's probably sold like 75% of those tables. Like, not even joking. But
I think I seen him once at Fight Force Fitness. They have an open mats like on Sunday.
That's his main gym, I think.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You been there to spar?
Yeah, I went there one of the Sundays.
I heard they have open sparring there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an open mat for sparring, and they have a lot of guys been fighting for like a decade or more, and then all over it. But the skill level there is, it's definitely a lot higher.
How'd you do? Without naming names.
No, I think I did. I think I did fine, but it was mostly I like to just counter. So it was mostly like seeing how these guys go, and then kind of like trying to figure out their pattern, and then come up and then developing a solution for that. So
I got you.
it was good. They definitely got clinched a lot, so definitely reminded me to keep my head up. And then it was definitely people were giving me some new looks. So I think it was a good training value.
Yeah, cross training is the best, man. But also staying loyal to a gym is even better. But that's not saying you should do one or the other. You should do both in a sense. You know what I mean? Stay loyal to a gym,
Yeah.
but cross train as much as you can. Again, I appreciate you, man. What were you saying?
What were you saying?
I was gonna say I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate having you on. And I can't wait till this. I keep saying it. I'm excited for this Friday. I can't wait to see what happens with you and X.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to watch Xavier. He's really cool, man. Just watching him, just like go Matrix mode.
Yeah, I looked up. I was watching me and him. I found a video of me and him sparring before I had my first fight ever. He had probably already had a kickboxing one at this point, and I was like, wow, we've both grown so much since then. And then I watched that video before my first fight, and then I watched the video of us sparring a little bit after this last fight I just had, and it looks night and day, dude. Like, we look just so much different. But yeah, I'm excited for both of y'all, man, and can't wait to get X on here too. And again, see how this fucking weekend goes. I'm going to end this one. And I appreciate everybody that watches the Slowburn Show. We keep it going, and we're trying to get to 30 at least 30 by the end of next month or the month after, and we're trying to hit 50 by the end of the year, and then do in-studio pods as soon as possible. So appreciate y'all.
Cool, man.
Appreciate you, Brent. Yeah, for sure. You'll have to come in here. But I appreciate everybody, and I'll see y'all later.